Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and so far we're about 10 or 11 games into the season, and I kind of wanted to do a breakdown, kind of discuss the first few games, because last season, at this point of the season, we were about 9-1, 9-2. Right now, we're only 5-6. There's some things we need to discuss. It feels like every single time we have a game where it's like, okay, now the offense is looking good, and the defense looks great. The next game we go out there, it's like the player that, whether it was Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, the player that shined, they can't fucking make a basket if it was, their life was on the line. And then on the night earlier on in the year when we played the Knicks, when our defense was electric, the very next game, we couldn't stop a nosebleed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through, review the stats, look at the games we played, kind of how we've been doing, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on what we need to do to fix these issues. So without further ado, if you're going to enjoy today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like. And without further ado, let's get into it. Real quick, let's kind of go over the schedule, the first few games they played. That Brooklyn game, that was awesome. I love that game. 114, 113. It was bring me back to last season where we were last second trying to get these games victories at the very last second of the games. It was intense, it was stressful, but we got it done. Then we went on this 3-game stretch where Oklahoma City, we had that game almost pretty much wrapped up at the end. And if you don't believe me, right here it is. Look, 98.4% chance to win. We were leading 100-90 with 2:37 to go. Usually at that point, that's where the defense needs to lock the fuck in. The offense needs to run that clock, the play clock down at least 20 seconds off the clock, get a nice shot, get a layup, get a three, get something to get this, just get out of there with a win. But in that game, watch as it goes. Oklahoma City just keeps scoring and scoring, and they just came right back. And it wasn't even like fast paced, trying to hurry up. They were just taking it one play at a time, and they were just nailing threes. Then how about this? We look at the next game. We think, okay, that game happened. It was ugly. Let's move on. We play Indiana the very next game. We get blown the fuck out. There were some moments in that game in the third quarter where we got the game close, and even the fourth quarter, the game was close, and that was the in-season tournament game that was going on in Indiana. It was a cool game. I liked the whole atmosphere of it, but we choked in the end. And you know why we choked in the end? Because it seems like with our defense, we've been predicated on defense for the past like 2 years, and this game, there was no defense. This New York game, there was no defense. Finally, the second game in New York, we finally got some defense going. But then ever since then, look at the final score for the opponent's scores. Indiana, 121. Even in Golden State, we kind of locked in there, but they still got 104. Oklahoma City, 128. Golden State again, 110. Sacramento, 132. Where is the defense? Kind of want to discuss the stats here and just look over some of the players of how they've been doing. Because as you all know, last year, we lost a lot of players in the free agency and even in the offseason. We lost Lamar Stevens. We already know we lost Kevin Love last year. He was like our leader. We traded away Cedi Osman away whenever we acquired Max Strus in the sign and trade deal. So you got to be thinking, okay, we traded away some less average players away to get some high talent like Max Strus, like I said. How are they doing, you might ask? Well, let's see. So far, Max Strus is giving us about the 14 points a game, which, don't get me wrong, am I sad that Cedi Osman left us? I'm a little sad, but then again, this is the stat line we wanted him to have. We wanted Cedi to be able to get the 14 points a game. He just couldn't do it on a consistent basis. Whereas Max Strus, he's been putting up the scoreboard. I mean, right here is our stats over the last 5 games. He's got 14 points, 19 points, 16 points, 12 points, 15 points. If Cedi Osman would have been doing that, he would have still been here. But with this, I mean, I'm kind of happy having Max Strus. Now, looking over the rest of the players, obviously I'm not going to have to get into Donovan Mitchell because he's playing out of his mind right now. Donovan Mitchell is going to do his thing. He's playing electric. He's got the 29 points a game. He's got 5 assists. He's already leading the team. He is kind of leading the team, though, because of another thing I kind of want to go into, and that is injuries. Injuries have just ridiculed this team. Darius Garland's been out already, I think, 2, 3, 4 games this season. Donovan Mitchell was out a game. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen have both been missing some time. Jared Allen quite a bit. He missed like the first 2 games of the season, and then here recently he missed another game. And also as Isaac Okoro. He's more or less our defensive special weapon whenever it comes to our team. He's not been out there, and I think that does kind of impact a play of why our defense has been so cruddy these past 5 games. He's not been out there, so whatever star player across the boundaries is playing, they can just go out there and light it up. One of the things we talked about last season in the playoffs especially was our physicality, especially with our big men, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. We talked about Mitchell Robinson from the New York Knicks. He bitched those boys in the playoffs. He absolutely bitched them, and the way he bitched them was offensive rebounds. Mitchell Robinson was just dominating in area. So I want to know, how are Jared Allen and Evan Mobley doing? Because we heard in the offseason, Evan Mobley put on like 15 pounds of muscle. Jared Allen also put on a little bit of muscle in the offseason. Let's see. 3.2 offensive rebounds per game is what they're averaging. Not the prettiest, because so far I'm pretty sure Mitchell Robinson has the beat on that stat. So yeah, well he's really beating him. 5.8 offensive rebounds a game. The dude's just having his way. Another player that put on a little bit of muscle in the offseason was Darius Garland. He put in some effort this offseason to put on a little bit of weight, because it seems like at times last season he'd be trying to drive in, get into the paint, trying to go around, and a lot of times he had to hit the little floater. And don't get me wrong, the floater works, but there was some times where it's like you want him to use his body, the way you see Donovan Mitchell go up and he can use his body, get a little finger roll, get some bank shots, get some action down there in the paint. Darius Garland couldn't really do that. Now it seems like he's able to do that a little bit more. Then the sad part is he's now injured, so I'm kind of wondering, did he put on that muscle to where he could try and be more impactful down there, but now he's getting hurt because of it? Let me know. The next thing I kind of want to discuss is our bench. Obviously, we know the main stars of this team is going to be Mobley, Allen, Okoro when he's there, Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Max Strus, and Caris LeVert. Those are our main core players that are always going to be on the floor every single game. But I mean, when you look at this roster from top to bottom, look at the bench players. Do any of those bench players absolutely scare you? I mean, Yang has showed his potential to be able to hit the three ball, be a great bench player, but he's really only going to give you like 6-7 points a game. Craig Porter, I thought he could be something. He did really well in the summer league. So far, he's been looking like a bust out there. He can't make a fucking free throw. Ricky Rubio, he's excused right now. He's got a personal family issue, something going on, so he's kind of excused right now. But then, look at the big boys. Tristan Thompson, we brought him back. I thought it was fun that we bring him back. Bring him back. He could be a veteran in the locker room. But when I saw him actually playing, I was like, what are we doing? And then the boy Damian Jones, when we signed him, I was thinking that could be a good piece. He's 6'10", about 245 pounds. He could be a good big body down there underneath. But so far, it just seems like J.B. Bickerstaff, the coach, he's been playing Jared Allen and Evan Mobley a lot, which I don't blame him. But at times, you got to get Damian Jones in there, just rotational. Yes, he's not going to be a scorer per se, but he can be the big guy to just, every single time we miss, he's going to go get that rebound. So yeah, if you have a different opinion on kind of the whole bench of this team and the whole roster, let me know down in the comment section. Is there a player on this team besides, and I'll name them off, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Caris LeVert, I already said Donovan Mitchell, I believe, Isaac Okoro, and Max Strus. Anybody else besides them, do anybody else on this roster scare you? Because I don't think so. I'm going to kind of wrap it up with saying this. Like I said earlier in the video, and I've been saying the entire time, our team was present on defense. Defense, defense, defense. That was our strong suit the past 2 years. So far this season, we've been all about offense, and I believe we needed to get better on offense. That's why we signed guys like Max Strus, and why we thought bringing in Yang would be able to help out with the three ball. We brought these guys in because we need to get better on offense, because last season, it seemed like our defense was holding us and keeping us in these games. It was giving us a chance in the very end, but we didn't have any sharpshooters that could go out there and hit the shots except for Garland and Mitchell. They were our only guys that could hit some big-time shots in the end. Now we finally got a guy, Max Strus, that can go out there and hit these shots, but the problem is, he's got to have to make like 7 to 10 shots a game just in order for us to win, because we're letting up like 120, 130 points a game. So to kind of wrap it up, I'm going to say this. We need to fix the defense. The defense needs to get better. We need to get our offense. The offense, I think, is still playing good. They need to just play the way they are, but the defense needs to get better. And then I think it's either the second quarter or the third quarter. I forget where the stat was, but it's either the second or third quarter. We have the worst point made to point allowed differential in the entire league. And I think that was the same exact thing as last year. We just get blown out. It's either the second quarter or the third quarter where we just absolutely get blown out by teams. And then for some reason we think, oh, well, we played bad there, but the next quarter we got them. We'll come back. Now to kind of wrap it up, I'm going to say this very last thing. Do I still think this Cavaliers team can make the playoffs? Playoffs, yes. At worst case scenario, in the play-in. Do I think they're going to be competing for like the 1, 2, 3, 4 seed? I don't think they're going to be doing that. Last season, it was a dream season. We had fun. We had a chance then. This season, I don't see it happening. I'm going to say probably it's going to be like a 7, maybe 6 seed we can try to fight for. If we go on a run here over these next few weeks, maybe there's a shot that we can shoot up the standings. But right now, the way they're playing, play-in's probably going to be where we're going to be sitting. But other than that, that's all I got to discuss for today's video. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure you go ahead and drop a like. It's very much appreciated if you do so. If you went on to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much, and you enjoyed the content that you saw here, and you have a different opinion on the whole Cavaliers season, maybe you think they're playing okay, maybe you think they're playing god-awful. If you have a player in mind that you think needs to pick it up, play better, step it up, Just leave your opinion on kind of the whole Cavaliers season and how they're doing down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about it with you guys. If you are brand new to the channel and you're enjoying the content that I do post here, I upload Cavaliers content whenever it comes to news and maybe some game updates, whenever it comes to the Cavaliers here on the channel. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff and you want to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.